Hi, welcome to my talk for my proposal called The Makerspace, Art Making and Employment Skill Building for Autistic Teens. My name is Ellie Grossman, and I'm a doctoral student in the Developmental Psychology Department at the CUNY Grad Center. The CUNY Grad Center is going to be sponsoring this project, and I appreciate your time as I show you the necessity of why there should be no disability research about us without us. Excuse me, I can hear my keys jingling. And how this project will serve this mission by mobilizing commitments to uplift neurodivergent youth through participatory action. So let's talk about the problem with where we stand. Today, only 35% of people with autism in the United States are employed. Of those people, longitudinal studies find that only 25% of them maintain employment. Of those people, only 64% are properly employed, meaning that they're not overqualified for their position and they're not underworked. This means that today, if we do absolutely nothing, of the 5.4 million people in the US with autism, less than 6% have meaningful employment. In 2022, we need to do better. And we can. So the Makerspace project was designed to make a path towards employment, to make it more accessible to people with autism, starting at the point at which these paths begin to be paved, which is in adolescence. So the objective of this 2-year project is to recruit 20 adolescents with autism each year to equip them with work-based competencies and employment skills to set them up for success in a competitive job market. To do so, we'll hone in on the arts sector, in which job opportunities have increased by over 42% in the last decade alone. So with that, the Makerspace has 2 overarching goals. The first is to provide opportunities for adolescents with autism to learn job-based skills. And this is going to be achieved through various things, including one-on-one mentorship with professionals in the arts field, trainings on hard and soft job skills that can be applied across sectors, and even by providing employment opportunities within the Makerspace, including anything from student flyer creation to leading a job skill training themselves. The second goal is to provide these opportunities by giving autism-informed access to arts materials and spaces, which are not prioritized in public school systems. So this will be achieved by hosting weekly trainings on art techniques and practices, providing one-on-one mentorship with autistic students in the greater New York City area, and providing sensory filters, which could include earplugs or sunglasses for students who may become sensorially overwhelmed by the space. Now, these goals are great in and of themselves, but if they're not designed with input from autistic people, they're just much less likely to be effective. So for that reason, the Makerspace will be designed by a participatory team, including autistic and non-autistic researchers and experts. For example, professional artists or autism advocates, as well as the autistic teens and young adults who take part in the Makerspace programming. The inclusion of autistic voices as project stakeholders will not only ensure an informed and effective approach to minority supports, but will further our goals to provide employment opportunities for autistic individuals. So over the course of 2 years, I anticipate that this will cost roughly $861,582 to effectively create the Makerspace. So there are 4 primary areas where funding is required. 43% is going to account for salaries and payment for staff. 22% is going to account for the art materials. A bit less than 1% will account for participant incentives. And 34% will account for the rent for the Makerspace. So as you can see, the bulk of these funds is going to be dedicated to the study personnel. So in addition to the research team, which I already described, I'll briefly describe the study personnel and their contributions to the project. So beginning with me as the principal investigator, I'm planning to oversee the project and incorporate my arts knowledge. I have a bachelor's in fine arts and imminent degree in developmental psychology to guide the curricula structure. The 5 members of the advisory board will provide expertise on autistic-focused program development and social skill development for autistic adolescents, as well as those necessary for employment. Additionally, they comprise sources for recruitment of autistic youth through personal connections and family marketing. 2 consultants are going to serve as the project coordination team to provide expertise on program development for autistic students. So one will develop art-making programs and skill-building modules for enrolled participants, and one will be responsible for participant and artist outreach and recruitment, And both are going to, it will be necessary for both to have practical and research experience with autistic people, as well as knowledge of relevant organizations for autistic youth so that the recruitment can start from somewhere. A graduate assistant will aid in recruitment, dissemination, and data collection to track evaluations. Approximately 7 professional autistic artists will guide students in the application of various artistic techniques and the use of materials. And finally, students will build employment-related skills, in part by accomplishing administrative tasks and contributing to skill-building modules. So with that, I hope that you will help us be a tool for change to increase opportunities for meaningful employment for autistic youth by conducting research that uplifts their voices. Again, my name is Ellie Grossman, and my email is egrossman@gradcenter.cuny.edu. Please don't hesitate to contact me with questions. Thank you.